Hi everyone. I'm welcome back to the kitchen. I'm Noreen, and this is my kitchen. A little face to face today because it mostly won't be, but I'm excited to share with you a bit of a flip through of my newest cookbook, Backyard Bliss. This is a nostalgic celebration of summer food and memories, and it's really my love letter to my Gen X generation and all the summers that we spent being tossed outside after breakfast, told to be home before the street lights came on, and all the things that I have happy memories of being a kid during that time in America. And I have spent the last couple of months compiling this cookbook. And the very most exciting part of this cookbook to me is not just the great recipes that I have included. It has 60 recipes that range everywhere from grilling, salads, picnic favorites. I have a whole section on seasoning blends and marinades, and we have desserts and sweet treats. You name it, it's in there. But my most favorite part of this cookbook is the very back part, and it's vintage summer fun. There are no recipes in there, but it's just full of nostalgia and absolute fun. There are card game instructions, and there's shopping lists, a party planner for a potluck, a party planner for a barbecue. There are so many things that I have kind of just mashed into this book. And every time I thought about doing something, I thought of something else. And whenever I had a distinctive memory, I had another distinctive memory. And so when I came up with all of these things, it was just so much fun. And one thing kind of led to another. There's a song about that. If you're an 80s kid, you know what I'm talking about. That it's just all the beauty of being raised on hose water neglect. That's all I can say. It's all of the beauty and wonder of being able to explore your world independently with a freedom that no other generation after us has been privileged to have, because the world has changed so incredibly much. And I'm going to share with you the cookbook. So let's go. I present to you Backyard Bliss. This is my love letter to my Gen X generation and growing up and all the fabulous summers that we used to have and all the happy memories that I have of that time. So this is the cover, and I'm going to show the back too because I love the back. Jean jacket with all the patches, a little text back there just as a little reminder of what is in this book and how it works. But let's go ahead and flip through. Of course, we've all the traditional things. We have a grill section. There are 10 recipes in each section. There are 6 sections, and so there are 60 recipes. And then the vintage summer fun section is separate. It's at the back, but I'm going to share with you another really cool feature that I put in here. So I'm not going to show you the recipes, but I am going to show you the tables of contents. So moving on from the grill, and there's lots of graphics and beautiful quotes that are just reminiscent of summer and fun and the way we grew up. So I also have included special recipe pages in the back of each section where you can write down your family favorites so that it's all in one place. My hope is that at some point this will actually become like, this is part journal, part memory book, part cookbook, and just part good old-fashioned nostalgia book. And my whole goal here was that sometime you would write down your family favorites in here and maybe pass this along to someone in your family, maybe one of your children or someone that you care about, so that your family heritage is also preserved. And if you grew up at the same time I did, I was born in 1965. I am OG Gen X. And Rick, born in 1966, he's just a little bit younger than me. But we grew up different from the way my kids grew up, the way the millennial, my kids are millennials, and then Generation Z and now Gen Alpha. They've grown up completely immersed in the electronics age and computers. And we didn't have any of that. If you grew up at that time, you know, we didn't have computers, we didn't have video games, didn't get the first video gaming console in our home until I was uh, a sophomore in high school, when a family friend gifted us an Atari. And we weren't allowed to play it until my dad got home in the afternoon. He worked in he was an electrician. So, and I grew up in Arizona. So when my dad would get home in the afternoon, the first thing he would do is go for a swim. Then he would take a shower. Then he would sit down and play asteroids for a little while. We were then allowed to play video games. We weren't allowed to, you know, sit and play video games all day long. But I will say, until I was 10 years old, we moved from New Jersey when I was 11. So anything before the time I was 11, we did come home for lunch and then come home before the streetlights came on. And it was, you know, if you were looking for your kid, just look for the house where all the bikes were in the front yard. If you were thirsty, what did you do? You drank from the garden hose. Of course you did. And there was usually a mom who passed out popsicles at some point during the afternoon, or, you know, ice pops or whatever you call those. Everyone has a different name. But this, I want this book to be something completely different, something that triggers your memory and makes you have a fondness and nostalgia for the way you grew up. So moving on, there's also one page at the back of every section for memories and moments where you can record throughout your summer. Today and you can fill in the blank, people I was with, what made it special, and little notes from the day that you spent, and a little square here where you can insert a little photograph. Maybe you have a little photo printer where you can print photos from your phone and just paste it in there, and have an everlasting memory of what you did that day during that summer. The next section is cool and crisp and colorful salads. And you know, there's no summer complete without some delicious salads and side salads and treats. There are 10 different salads, and some salads that shouldn't be called salads because they're just dessert, but we call them salad nonetheless, like orange fluff salad, pineapple marshmallow ambrosia, and Midwestern salad. Those are not really salads, but we call them salads, and I'm sticking by my guns on that one. Next section up is pack a picnic. These are great ideas for packing a lunch and taking it to the park or the beach or the mountain or wherever you're going to go that day. These are just really easy, packable picnic foods. Or, you know, if you're going to pack a lunch or whatever, pack the cooler, and you can use these things to put in there. They're very simple but very delicious. And I even paid an homage to the Kmart Deli sub, and we're calling it the Blue Light Special sub. And I couldn't write a Gen X cookbook without including something from the Kmart Deli. Now, the younger of you might think, ew, Kmart had a deli? Yes, they did. Don't knock it till you try it. I know you probably won't ever try it because I think there are only Kmarts in Europe now, but I could be wrong. I don't know. Do you have a Kmart where you live? Leave a comment down below. We have picnic tips and tricks over here, and then all these delicious sandwiches, homemade lemonade, and all sorts of sandwich fillings for you to delight in when getting ready to pack your picnic. Next up, summer nibbles and nostalgia. These are snacks, treats, little bites, and happy memories. So, because every afternoon rolls around and everybody wants a snack, right? So that's what we have here. We've got classic California onion dip. Like, I know nobody really probably needs a recipe for that, but nonetheless, I put it in here. Caramel corn, Texas trash snack mix, which is kind of like an elevated crunchy snack mix, a little bit different than what you're used to with the classic 70s Chex Mix. Got a cheese ball, some pickle roll-ups, and a couple of sweet treats that you can indulge in as well. Next up, sweet summer treats. This is where the desserts come in, because no summer is complete without some sweet treats. No picnic, no barbecue, no nothing is complete without some sweet treats. And I have a lot of happy memory pages throughout this book, like this one here as the ice cream truck was coming. This will trigger some memories for you guys. Like, what was your favorite ice cream truck treat? Mine was uh, it was a toss up. Either a sidewalk sundae, which was like a strawberry shortcake bar, which is like my number one. My number two would be the sidewalk sundae, which was vanilla ice cream with a fudge center that was rolled in chocolate crumbs. Very similar to the strawberry shortcake bar that we all know and love. And then, of course, a bomb pop. I am not a huge fan of like ice pops, but the bomb pop I would always go for when the ice cream truck rolled around. So what we have here are, it's no joke. It's no secret. There's going to be brownies on this list, some blondies, some snow churned strawberry ice cream, lemon bars, watermelon sherbet punch, a frozen yogurt pie, which I recently made but did not make a video, but it was a happy memory from when I was a kid. My mom used to make these frozen yogurt pies that were incredible, and just a dump cake. What is more Gen X than a dump cake? I'm not joking. It's delicious. It's easy, and you are going to love it. And we're going to move on because the last section is the backyard boosters. This is where you're going to find your seasoning blends and your marinades. So we've got just barbecue rub, some retro ranch dry mix that you can whip up your own ranch dressing with, or you can use it to season chicken or whatever. You can use it to season a snack mix or a salad. We've got a balsamic marinade, a chuck wagon campfire rub, and some campfire garlic butter blend, dill pickle seasoning, because dill pickle stuff, pickly flavored things are all the rage right now. But I'm telling you, pickles have never gone out of style. They were popular then, they're still popular now, but now we found more innovative ways to use that type of taste and create it into something else, like pickle dip and pickle chips, and just a lot of fun. So now we're going to move on to the last section, vintage summer fun. This is where the joy happens. This is where the happiness takes place in my cookbook. Tons of great recipes. Okay, don't get me wrong, but there are a lot of happy memories here, and I think that you will agree. I'm not going to share everything with you, but here's the table of contents and gives you a little bit of an idea of everything that I've put in here. I've packed this with fun things. We've got a printable shopping list, a printable potluck planning guide, a barbecue party planning sheet. There's pages for backyard scavenger hunt, vintage card party, and a list of vintage card games and how to play them. And then just a lot of beautiful graphics. I also included a vintage summer fun word find. The answer sheet is in the back of the book, and because I can't give you a word find without giving you the legend on word find things. So I think that you are going to find this to be quite fun. I had a regular who has purchased, I think, all of my cookbooks, who she private messaged me and she said, I knocked this one out of the park, that it not only did it do what, she expected similar recipes to be in the book, but it just triggered her memory for all of the recipes that she grew up with, like her aunt's broccoli salad recipe, or her mom's this, or her grandma's that. And that was really my hope here, and my goal is to really encourage the reader, the viewer, the end user to treat this like a memory book. And that's why I did all the things I did. You're going to find all sorts of things here. What's in my locker? Let's go to the mall. Generation X, the microwave revolution, because Gen X, honestly, I know the microwave has been around since the 50s, but families did not have microwaves in their homes until the 80s. And we microwave the heck out of everything, even though we shouldn't have. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. Let's be honest. And last but not least, when you purchase this book, you will have access to the bonus materials that you will be able to access through a link or a QR code, which is printed on this page. I'm covering it up because if you don't buy the cookbook, you don't get the bonus pieces. I'm sorry. But We've got lots of extra printables. We've got a shopping list, a barbecue party planner. We've got a potluck planner and recipe cards. We've got extra recipe cards that you can print out on cardstock and then use for your very own recipe box. We've got summer memory pages, protein pairing guide, a spice rack guide on how to build your own spice rack for those spice blends that you're going to make from the cookbook. We've even got printable spice jar labels that you can use with an Avery label 5163, I think. And there's a card game companion, score sheets, and a backyard games guide, as well as a Spotify playlist that I have created 4 separate Spotify playlists that are going to be great for your backyard barbecue. There's a jazzy one, a disco one, a complete 80s playlist of my particular favorites, and then one that you'll be able to play when you have your backyard barbecue and have all your friends over. And it spans the decades, and it's just a really great mix. And you'll be able to access those with QR codes that are included. And I know that you're going to love it. So that is my new Backyard Bliss Cookbook. It is available on Amazon, but it does not have the spiral binding. It is on Amazon, it has a plain binding, like a regular paperback binding. And if you want the spiral binding, you can get that from lulu.com. And you can also get this in a digital format. I will leave links to where you can purchase this Backyard Bliss Cookbook. I hope that if you want to, you give it a try. I hope that you check it out. And I hope that if you do, that it invokes lots of memories and nostalgia for you. And I hope that you love it. And until next time, I'll see ya.